What's going on, Bills Mafia? This is Gen 16 back here again, and today I want to talk to you guys about some of the players that the Buffalo Bills should definitely bring out for the 2020 campaign. Obviously, it was a really good year for the Buffalo Bills, and some of the players that are on the free agency list right now are players that definitely contributed really heavily to why the Buffalo Bills even made it there. So I'm just going to name some players that I think that the Buffalo Bills can definitely get at a reasonable price that they should bring back. And yeah, let's hop straight into it. So the first target obviously is Jordan Phillips. Or at least in my opinion, some people may have a player that I'm going to name next as their first option. But Jordan Phillips, you're talking about a guy that had a breakout season, 9.5 sacks, I think over 20 tackles for loss. Constant pressure on the quarterback, a guy that commanded double teams, was able to free up guys like Ed Oliver, Vincent Taylor, who came in late up, Star Lotulelei, and even helped some of the guys like Shaq Lawson and Trent Murphy and Jerry Hughes get pressure on the quarterback. He was just that guy. And even though we expected Oliver and Harrison Phillips to be that, Jordan Phillips stepped up to the plate and was arguably our best defensive player, at least on the defensive line. He's going to command money, or at least the market for his position is going to command a big market, especially for a big time playmaker like he was. Now the question is he going to demand a lot of money? Is he going to demand a money that the Buffalo Bills just can't afford? Because maybe the Buffalo Bills, they want to focus more on getting more of a offensively heavy type of free agency and draft, and they don't want to spend a huge amount of money on a defensive player, especially that just had a breakout season. Who knows? We've seen situations where players get their money and then the next year they play like crap. So they may want to focus their attention somewhere else, but try to get him at a reasonable price. He may demand too much, and if he does, I think the Bills should let him go. But if they can get him at a reasonable price, he wants to stay here, obviously, so if they can get him at a reasonable price, I think that will be definitely beneficial for the Buffalo Bills. Now, it may demand maybe a 3-4 year type of contract. He is getting older. But again, if it's reasonable, the Buffalo Bills should definitely bring him back. Shaq Lawson is a guy that is a lot of people's first option. This is a guy that's going to be 25 or 26 years of age next year. 26 years of age, I think, next year. This was definitely the breakout year. Buffalo Bills even pick up his fifth-year option. This was definitely the breakout year for him. You're talking about a guy that had 6.5 sacks, over 16 tackles for loss, was Buffalo's best run defender, especially as an edge rusher, especially as an edge player. He was definitely the best in run support in that situation. This was just a breakout year for Shaq. Now, again, kind of like the same for Jordan Phillips, that I think that he might command a lot for a lot of money. Again, if Buffalo can get him at a reasonable price, if they can negotiate and get him at a reasonable price, Buffalo should definitely bring him back, because he might not be that premier edge rusher, but he adds depth to your defensive line, and he's very important, especially as a run supporter for your defense. So I definitely think that Shaq Lawson is going to be a very important player. Now, if they lose him to free agency, it's a blow, but it's not the end of the world. Again, the Buffalo Bills could demand a market there, especially as far as getting a premier pass rusher. So maybe it isn't the worst thing in the world if Shaq Lawson goes. But if he stays, it's more beneficial for Buffalo. So if they can get him more at a reasonable price, that's a guy we should definitely keep. Quentin Spain's a guy that I would love to have back. Buffalo's best run blocker, no question about it. He was the enforcer. He set the tone, and he was a huge reason why the guys like Devin Singletary was able to get 5 yards a carry. Now, he's going to be 29 years of age. He's getting older. Will he be in the lookout for more money, right? Is he going to look for a deal that the Buffalo Bills just can't make, especially a guy at his age? Who knows? Again, the Buffalo Bills, they could be in the market and look for a younger, cheaper option that could be just as good, if not better, than Quentin Spain. Or they could just go for a more expensive option that has a lot more upside than Quentin Spain. So obviously, they want to get him at a reasonable price. If they can do that, that's a very important piece, especially as far as solidifying your offensive line. Isaiah McKenzie, I think he was that gadget player, a guy that was in a lot of jet sweeps. He was in the return game, good special teams player, a lot of jet passes, he was in motion a lot. But he was very important to the offense, right? He was very important to the offense. He might not have the stats like a number one receiver, a slot receiver, or even a number two, but as far as that gadget type of player, he was very important, especially as far as affecting the defense. Now, again, they're not going to pay him a crap ton of money, but as far as getting, as far as maybe getting him on a 1 year deal, maybe getting him back for 1 more year, or maybe getting a 2 year deal, but giving him, let's say, on a 6, 7, maybe $8 million contract, I would be fine with it, because he was very important as far as a gadget type of player, especially if Buffalo gets on the market and they get a number 1 receiver, especially in free agency and into the draft. Still keeping a player like Isaiah McKenzie as your gadget player, more of a flex type of role, wouldn't mind it at all. Kevin Johnson's a very interesting piece, and this is going to be the last one. Kevin Johnson's very interesting because he didn't play bad, but he didn't play great. He didn't play like a number 1 type of pick, but he played okay. He played pretty fairly well for the most part. He adds depth. He adds depth. I think that's the thing about it. He adds depth. Again, if Buffalo doesn't want to look for a number 2 guy, they might bring him back on a 1 year contract or maybe a 2 year contract and see if he can win that number 2 spot away for Levi Wallace. Obviously, Bills fans are not the biggest fan of Levi Wallace, but as far as trying to battle out in opposite of Tre'Davious White, it may be something that we could figure out. Again, this is his first year in this defense. It could be possible that Johnson gets better and he becomes that number 2 guy that Buffalo's been desperately looking for. Levi Wallace, it could be possible that he gets better, but again, competition definitely helps people get better, and plus, adding more depth to your secondary was a huge reason why the Buffalo Bills were successful, especially if Levi Wallace goes down or if Trey White goes down. Kevin Johnson will be a player to step in. He's young, and he has a lot more upside because he's a former first-round pick. So Kevin Johnson's a guy that the Buffalo Bills, that they should consider bringing back. I'm not saying that they should get him, but they should definitely consider. Again, if he asks for too much because of his play, if he asks for too much, let him go. But he's a guy in the market that I wouldn't mind the Buffalo Bills getting. So anyway, guys, that's all I get. Short video for you guys. Just want to talk about the players that I think that the Buffalo Bills these are the players that the Buffalo Bills should focus on getting back. As far as extending players goes, obviously Tre'Davious White, you want to reset, you want to get him now. Get Tre'Davious White now before 2021, because they'll pick him up in his 5th-year option, no doubt about it. But in 2021, the market's only going to get a lot higher, and especially because Tre'Davious White might be the best cornerback in the league. You want to get him now. Matt Milano, you got the cap. I want to extend him now before he becomes a free agent. He's been one of Buffalo's most important players. That's a player that you extend right now. So that's probably about it as far as extending players goes. Deion Dawkins. I forgot about Deion Dawkins. Deion Dawkins, he's been your left tackle for the last couple of seasons. Yeah, he was really good this season. Extend him now because obviously the tackle position is going to command for a lot of money. He's still young. I would try to extend him now before it gets too late. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. If you guys like the video, hit the like button, share the video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It really helps out the channel a lot. And if you guys want more Bills content, more NFL content, college, we do everything around here in this channel. Again, you guys can subscribe, and I would really appreciate it. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. Stay tuned for more. This is Jan716. I'm out. Go Bills. Peace.